Hello and welcome back to Rule the Waves 3, Germany, 1890, super large. When last we left off, we were about to fight the French again in this counter-raid scenario. And we can see Blücher immediately going on a tangent here. I'm not sure what that's about. Okay, it's scored to Gneiss now. No, this is nice now, but sometimes they deploy on top of each other. That's kind of weird, but it happens. And we have Scharnhorst here. I'm not going to use them as a screen. I will set them to... I will look into changing some settings. Scout is fine. Definitely fine. 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 Do we have some scouts here as well? Yes. Yeah. But I think I will just take them off AI and run them manually. After that big convoy battle, I'm basically a little bit paranoid. No, I don't see that long text explaining that we have to defend our stuff. Well, anyway, let's not run it on super fast, let's just run it on fast, and let's maybe speed up the cruisers to 14 and take down the scouts to 16. It's no use wearing people out. This is 14, this is 16. Let's keep everyone on 16. That's fine. And there are no formations going off in weird direction. Should be able to find the enemy if 11 hours of daylight. Yeah, pretty good wall of observation. We can send these guys slightly to port, these slightly to starboard, and then these other guys can keep going straight ahead. I mean, it could come from a more westerly direction, I suppose. I don't think so. Unknown ship sighted. No, they are in the middle here. And now they will be support, line ahead. And for the time being, I will keep them independent, or not independent, but under my control. Then each can sort of join one of the cruiser squadrons. This one as well, that's on support, that's fine. That's the Harrias. Still one member short. Remember, one burned up. Let's just run with this. Let's change course slightly to converge. So-called battleship, but it's not a battleship, I can guarantee you. How fast are the Frauen lobes? Down to 19 because of age, presumably. But I can try to keep up so you can get a clear picture of the enemy. I will eventually have to go to maximum as usual. So there are basically 2 destroyers. Squad max. Go, go, go! Squad max, go, go, go. How fast is the Chambard? 20, so And 3,200 tons, oh my god, poor guy. These are just 19 and not reliable, so I will just trail with them for now. I don't think they can actually do anything useful. Amazon engines having trouble? Yes, of course. I don't think these can contribute in any way. Just do that. But this Valkyrie squadron, they can definitively contribute. Range is dropping. They have a nice intercept course. And they turn away, yes, predictably. Of course they would turn away from this is like 1,000,000 tons of metal, and they have a 3,000-ton cruiser and 2 destroyers. So I can definitely understand why they are not too keen on to fight. Oh, Light Cruiser Division 2, that's these guys, yes. They're gonna... That was my only independent squadron that was doing anything useful, and they decided to go screw themselves over. Life of an admiral, that's just very hard. So now they are back under control. I think someone shouted at them. This is the kind of scenario where you get... Why is Knight now going out there? Surely that wasn't me, or did I misclick? Probably. This is the kind of scenario where you can very easily get a torpedo. Maybe not at this stage because ranges are still super short. Why are you always going in the wrong direction? I am going to core this. It's pointless to do that, so we can have the fast Valkyries and the main squadron here. I think he's lost some speed, so we can bring down our speed as well, so we don't burn up. Normally this could be dangerous. They move in, they get into position for making a torpedo run, but the range is so low on the torpedoes yet that they turn away, probably because taking fire, that they don't actually pose a threat. And this light cruiser is pretty much dead. I'm gonna take control of this squadron. These are 500 tonners. And it's gonna go squad max. Wow, 24 knots. At all? That's because one of them has a bad engine. We can leave that one behind. Some bots. You can do 27 as well. And just for good measure, let's hoist the flag for the rest of our very many this cruiser can't hunt down destroyers anyway. Okay, it's stationary, so yeah. Let's go to cruise with these guys. And let's go to cruise. And again, let's see if my destroyers can hunt them down, but speed is the same, so there is no point. Just gonna be random pot shots. And we can go home. Or if they really want to fight, we can always fight. No? Jean Bart hit by a torpedo. Yes, we will definitely save the survivors. Okay. Just ultra fast this and screen them back. Are these an independent or something? No? Yeah, it's an independent, so it's of course doing its own thing. This not something we want, so let's send it back to port. Slowest and least capable cruisers going on to party. I don't want that. Now the destroyers can't turn around and do our shipping anything, so let's go home. Single light cruiser. Not great, but at this time we are just treading water and waiting for the war to end. And they have even fewer light cruisers. Latest army offensive, 200-yard advance. Last time the enemy gained 1,000, so 100. We'll take it. Stuttgart is condenser trouble. We are blockading the enemy. Allied points. Yeah. War has been raging for a year and a half. Strength bars. We are only slightly ahead, but no matter because, yeah, we can always bring these guys out. I am contemplating sending a squadron to the Mediterranean to set up an invasion, maybe of Corsica. That is an interesting option. We have 299 to their 264, and we have an additional 36 here. That means we could send a small squadron. No, let's not do it from here. Let's do it from the main window. Okay, Donner 2 needs a division. Go into this division. So who are we sending? Sending any battleships? Let's send these guys. And some cruisers. Who has short range? Oh, these guys have short range. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Let's do that. And then can I actually reach that? Corsica. Yeah, I think I can reach it from here. Cost 1,500. Save. We'll see how that goes. Convoy attack. Estimated enemy forces 20 battleships. They moved their forces to the Med as well. Okay, yeah. We expect to catch an inferior force. It's the Frauenlobs. Now I wish I had sent some better quality ships. We'll see what we can make of this. Find and attack the enemy convoy and sink at least 6 merchant ships while limiting damage to your own ships. I've never noticed this before. This has to be new. Okay. Unknown ship sighted. Okay. Let's go to... Oh, they are slow. They are going to murderize me. But let's see what happens. The cruiser. You're not afraid of cruisers. Why are you twisting around like that? Port and support. That's fine. Here is the convoy. Let's do fast. We have some heavy rain. Yeah, they are turning away outside of torpedo range, so... La touche Treville! Huh. That's great. And yeah, we have seen these before. It's an 1890s cruiser, so it's nothing special, but it's, I mean, we can assume that its engine has deteriorated and it's probably around 19 knots. Same as us. 6 8 inches, 12 5 inches, and 10 2 inches. So it's a good defense against both light cruisers and our destroyers, and the armor is okay-ish. I mean, I wouldn't say that it is amazing, but it is certainly competitive with our ship. We have, I think, after the refit, better armament because we have 2 7-inch. They have some punch. But we also have 10 6 inches. That's good against light cruisers as well. And our 3-inch guns are way better than... We have 3-inch quality 1, they have 2-inch quality 0. So quite comfortable with that. Let's lock it. I was almost expecting this to be another where I meet a lot of battleships. We maybe take the speed down. It's only a handful of... What are these guys doing? They are sort of burning up their engines by going around in weird circles. And these guys completely refuse to screen me against the approaching enemy. And they are turning together and just generally making a nuisance of themselves. Not destroyers take a hit. Max speed is not affected, so not a problem. These are also turning together. It's kind of weird. Let's go down to 24. Heavy rain, but otherwise not a lot of wind. Kind of charging into my line here, and not entirely sure why. And I gave him away with the torpedo launch. Or even better, can we get him to just drive straight into my torpedoes? He turned away. Screen you. Waterline hit on the 81. That's gonna hurt. Probably gonna flood in a little while. Good lass, hit them. This is a nice change of pace from previous encounters. I'm gonna use the destroyers to bring this destroyer. I don't think we can get a torpedo into him, not right away anyway. No, he's turning away, so let's F up some of these transports. Let's reduce speed by 1. Let's do 20 knots on our passes. I don't even see an armed merchant here, so nothing that can really hurt my destroyers. It's always positive. Let's turn off the lock, see who is moving. No one is moving, okay. Let's go to AI control. Head over to my light cruiser. I think we have already sunk more than enough ships. Okay. Maybe we can bag one of the increasingly rare French cruisers. Small merchant, medium merchant, they all sink very easily. Destroyers turning away. Light damage. Okay. Light damage to his brother, clearly. He's doing the circle of death there. Just put through them. Brown Lob could have a torpedo launch of his front quarter here. Very hard to hit because the game doesn't really recognize the fact that he's just going in circles. So it's assuming that he's going in a sensible... Where did these guys suddenly appear from? This one, did it take on? Oh, it took a penetrating hit. This could actually end up sinking. So let's go to 7. But just a random hit from its main guns. That stuff happens. It's so-called light damage and it's on fire. See how the flooding go. Okay, it stopped flooding, so it's not that bad. We have definitely had enough. Let's pick up some survivors and go home. And home is in Tunisia. Like 40 years early for Tunisia, but I want to see what hit us and did all that damage. Okay, so it didn't sink after all, but that's fine. I didn't want to risk. I could have. Yeah, it's fine. Maybe I was overconfident. I was sure it would burn down. But let's look at our own medium damage light cruiser. It didn't take. It only took 3 hits. Secondary 8-inch, yeah, at 500 yards, punches through belt extended, hull damaged by splinters, and in the same volley it gets superstructure hit, penetrating engine room hit, and some 5-inch hits. Yeah, just a really good volley from the French commander. This one has taken way more damage. I was very close to sinking. If I had pulled the Arcona back and sent the other one for one more pass, this one would be at the bottom of the ocean. Great, or fair enough. Battle of Cape Argentaria. Okay. Hessen has condenser trouble. The enemy has sounded us out about the negotiated peace with us gaining disputed border areas and some of their colonies. Well, we can crush them completely, and we are invading them, but we could also press just for hard terms. I think I would prefer that. I think this war has gone on for long enough. Yes. And we get an allowed value of 6. So, now we could possibly get something. Not in the med, because the med is so close. I am pretty comfortable with not owning a lot of stuff in the med. But we could maybe grab a Southeast Asian possession. Chongqing, China. Or can you tell these apart? Tonkin, I'm just gonna very quickly Google this. Yeah, so Chongqing is actually the lowest one here. That gives us better access to the whole of the South China Sea. Tonkin is actually the topmost one in the bay. That could give us some invasion options for this Russian colony. That's interesting. It's also more out of the way, so it's not that fascinating. So I think I will take this one. And I suppose since we are grabbing colonies, I can also take Polynesia. There is no economy boost for me then, but fine. The naval budget is considerably reduced. Yes, that is true. Okay, so that concluded our second war with France. I'm gonna save and copy game. And I have noticed from this last patch that it seems to remember my copy preferences. Earlier it always said 2, now it says 5, which is the slot I want to use. That's a quality of life improvement. Let's look at our colonial commitments now. No, I cannot sort. 4,000 in the Med, West Africa and Southern Africa is 2,000. Indian Ocean is now 7, but we now have 5 in Southeast Asia. We probably will have to send more cruisers. The idea here is that we now have a colonial empire that is actually committed, so we have actual bases from Northern Europe through the Med, all around Africa. Decent presence in the Indian Ocean, and now also with a colony in Southeast Asia. So now we won't have to run out of fuel, water, whatever, and have fatigue cruise going back to China. And we also grabbed one of the remotest possessions in the world, Polynesia. But it's a nice place. I think the Kaiser wants us to build him a summer house there. I will now have a quick look at the numbers and what we need to do, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, I had a quick look, and First of all, we can look at the almanac. And we can now see that after the war, we have the second biggest economy in the world. Only Great Britain is ahead of us. And the gap there is big, but has grown smaller. We are not number 2 in terms of fleet size. But I would say that the majority of the tonnage that we have is quite advanced or powerful or whatever you want to call it. It's qualitatively better than most of the ships of our enemies. Or not enemies, rivals. Yeah, we have no enemies now. So that I think we can say that we have a comfortable fleet for home defense. Nothing that can sort of sail around the globe and fight around distant areas, but that's not happening. We are still allied to the US. I don't know how long that will last, but for now it's a great little alliance. We still really do not want a war with Great Britain. That would only cause us great grievous harm because we share the same home area, so we would get blockaded, and then we would get blockaded for real and dominated, and they could invade our possessions, and since we are blockaded, we couldn't go relieve them. So even with fortifications, they would eventually be overrun, and if we somehow won the war with Great Britain, the only thing we could do was take back our lost colonies. So no, let's not go there. But I had a look at the fleet. We have some ships damaged. They will need to repair. So these have elevated repair or upkeep maintenance. So maintenance will come down slightly because of that. We can also put some ships on mothball. And the majority of our fleets will go into reserve. I know that will cripple our skill levels, but if there is going to be peace for a while, we are probably going to do some refits, and then quality goes down anyway. But we might keep a handful of ships on active service. I do not think I will be building additional colonial cruisers for now, because I basically have all these relatively cheap cruisers that can go on foreign station. I mean, they cost 77 on foreign station. That is twice or more of these colonial cruisers, but these will need to be refitted now also. But I mean, 40 per ship difference. And how much does it cost for a new? I mean, it will take many years to sort of save in the cost of building new colonial cruisers. So I think for the time being, we will just mothball those we don't use, and the rest we will use for colonial service. These two ships are not contributing in any way to our fleet strength, but I'm strangely reluctant to scrap them because they are filler. They can do trade protection, so that there is sort of no particular reason not to keep them around. And on mothball, yeah, that's fine. We have a few ships in the Med. They will immediately head for Northern Europe. Why is this in the Baltic? Move to Northern Europe. Let's just keep everyone together. Okay, these need to fix condenser trouble or whatever first. Let's look at classes. Who should we keep? All of these are elite. It pains me to even consider putting them into Didn't I move everyone in the med? No, they are damaged. But these legacy ships definitely going into mothball, despite their elite status. In mothball, they are relatively cheap. And the Hellas, those who are not on colonial service, definitely into mothball. These tiny destroyers, mothball. These reserve destroyers with short, suppose we could put them into reserve. Will only mean I put them into mothball later. Can keep these guys on just for a turn or two until I have decided what to do with the rest of my ships here. The Valkyries. Point is, I cannot keep everything on active. That this one goes into reserve. Let's only keep the best of the best. Let's only keep reserve. Reserve. And reserve go into mothball. Active reserve. Frauenlob. Yeah, moving back on. So that reduced our deficit quite considerably, but it's the ships under construction that will sort of bring this home. We have a very strong reserve, almost too much money. We don't want to have too much in the bank or the Reichstag could get upset. But you can see here in a few months, we are going to go into the positive again. But without waiting, I will add a couple of coastal batteries, mostly so I don't forget. This one doesn't need any coastal battery. I think everything else is protected by 6-inch batteries by now, to varying degrees. Not Madagascar. Oh, it's pretty remote, so one will have to do for now. Two coastal batteries. 1 point. Yeah. So it's always interesting to clean up after a war and prepare for the future. We were also talking about dock size. Let's wait a few months, and when January comes or something, we can expand the docks. Intel is fine. We don't want to provoke these guys. I would like sort of an alliance with them at some point. So no one else I want to increase it with. Turn. Have a destroyer. Weight savings. We're not quite there with the 600-ton destroyers yet. Nothing of particular importance here. And let's go to ships in service. Classes. This one is active. It will be mothballed. Reserve. Frauenlobes. Move to Northern Europe now that they are repaired. But mothballed. Reserve. Working up. Fleet. Reserve. active repairing. Yeah. Another turn. Stuttgart has finished working up. It's $1.02. Tension. Japan and France decreases because of the recent war. Okay. It was really high between France and Japan, but now it goes down because they have just been whooped in a war. US and France decrease because they share common values, those dastardly democracies. Yeah, more decreases. US and Spain decreased because of the recent war. That was these can go home from the mad move, Northern Europe. I know it might feel a little more realistic to have squadrons stationed, I mean, in the Indian Ocean, the Mediterranean, and that sort of thing, but there's also a bookkeeping issue here. Everything is easier if you keep the bulk of your ships together. No, that was a misclick. Now everyone has a division. So we are missing one 500 tonner. Maybe I want to build that. Oh, missing 3 more here. 2 more here. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Or I could just spread the others around while waiting for the 600 tonners to arrive. Many divisions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 42, 2 to divide between 8, so at least 5. I can do that. That's fine. I'm also missing some of these 300 tonners that have decent speed. Not building any more of those. Let's just move this here. So now we have 5, 5, 5, 6, 6. This I can move to division 1. There you go. Now they all have 5 or 6. So that's fine. I don't think I want to bother with building any more destroyers at this time. I just want to get better destroyers. Still not getting any guns. That is quite disappointing. Can't build dreadnoughts without guns. Oh, we had one more building. Okay. Blois, French armored cruiser. Yes, this is starting to look like something. It's fast. It's 22 knots. That's relatively fast. That's fast enough to run away even from my reliable engine 20 knotters, or it could actually hunt down my ships. 2 8-inch, that's not too impressive, but it has 8 7-inch. And instead of those damn 2-inch guns, they now have a tertiary battery of 4-inch guns. And it starts with the central rangefinder and probably has, it could have slope deck and definitely has crop armor. And armor is good. Battery, secondary battery, conning tower, turrets, belt. This is not easily penetrated. Engine. No. Pretty good. I'm assuming France has crop armor by now. Yes. Everyone should have crop. Crop. Yeah, it tends to spread immediately after it is discovered. No. The ships, yes, this battleship will be finished now. Ostfriesland. We still have 100 million, or whatever we should call it, in the bank, so that's fine. Yeah. Often 2, these are not materially different from the original. It's basically the same ship. And again, not materially different from Beowulf's, it's better armor. You can see the Beowulfs immediately lost their speed bonus when I put fire control systems in them. That was a bit disappointing, but can't really do anything about it. So the Frauenlobes are back and can be put into mothball. These are active and they are supposed to be active. Destroyers are active. Active. Some foreign station. Why are these active? It should be on foreign station now. Okay, I can drive around. These are on reserve. Working up, working up. Right. The British government is expressing concern over our expansionist ambitions. Nah, we just want to be a global colonial power and control the Mediterranean and Suez and make the Indian Ocean our little basin. Wouldn't call that expansionist. It's more like realizing our, dare I say, manifest destiny, or just claiming our place in the sun, or not going to use the Raum word, but something to that effect. They cannot, manifest destiny, like I said. That will increase tensions. They definitely could use some increased tensions, but not with the UK. We can make some soothing noises and reduce our naval spending temporarily. No. Okay. So the UK doesn't like us now. Is something I am prepared to live with. Okay. We will now expand our dock size. Because we have and copy game. This is not too terrible. It's a little bit high right after the war. But I think it should be manageable. France is now no longer universally hated, but they have a lot of enemies anyway. So when we start up again, it will be 1904, which technologically with 80% probably is more like 1901. So there's still a way to go before we see the first true dreadnought. I need bigger guns, definitely. That's what's holding me back. I think I have most of the other stuff. I would also like to have turbines, but that probably comes later. So until next time.